We are about to start the ALCS. It will be the Minnesota Twins versus the Toronto Blue Jays. So let's take a quick look at some of the Blue Jays' best players this year. And as you look at their roster, they really don't have any superstars. Ryan Mountcastle seems to be their best player at an 87 overall. And let's see what he did this year. Hit 22 home runs, 88 RBIs, and hit 284. So good, but not MVP good. They have no player in the 90s. None of their top six is A potential, which is just shocking to me. They've made it this far. That's amazing. Wow. So their closing pitcher this year has 8 saves and 9 blown saves. And a 1.43 whip. Is this real? Is this really the Blue Jays roster? I'm not trying to downplay them or talk bad about them, but wow, Barrios is their best starter, and he went 8-8 this year with a 3.74 ERA. Bowden Francis is their number 2. Now he did quite a bit better, 2.51 ERA, 15-9. They have Garrett Hampson at shortstop, 11.62 and 258. Nothing special. Brandon Marsh, 26.74, 263. Pretty good year. Lars Nootbaar, 21.64, 269. So they secretly have every 82 in the game, basically. Perdomo, who's pretty good. I mean, he's good defensively, decent hitter. He had 14 home runs this year, 55 RBIs, hit 259. Matt Bierling, 19 homers. Everybody on their team has about the same number of home runs, it appears. 261. Andres Jimenez is their second baseman. Wow, he went up 10 in power versus lefties as a 29-year-old. That's amazing. He had 12 homers. Like every single one of them steals bases, but they get caught stealing a lot, it seems like. And they have low batting averages. Okay, Ricky Tiedemann, is that their third starter? Wow, he went 8-8. The year before he went 8-17. The year before that he went 6-19. 6-19 with a 6.61 ERA. he's just a young guy. They just keep throwing out there, hoping that he'll get better, and I guess he is actually. So good for Ricky Tiedemann, because some guys, man, you get 19 losses in a season, your mental state has got to be not good at all. So more power to you. All right, I'm not going to go through every single guy, but they basically own almost all the low 80s in the game, and apparently all the high 70s. But it's just shocking that their best player is Ryan Mountcastle. But you just can't ever take any team lightly because you just never, ever know. It is good that Mountcastle was struggling a little bit during the playoffs. Alexis Diaz seems to be pitching better. Barrios is pitching a lot better. Bowden Francis, we need him to pitch like that against us. Garrett Hampson is blah, kind of. Marsh is okay, I guess. Newt Barr is blah, kind of. I mean, they've been hitting okay, during and having some pitchers come up big like Tiedemann. So they'll need to have that happen again to, I would think, to take us down. But um, like I've said before, the postseason is about who's hot, getting on a roll, and seeing that out. Now, a lot of teams can, sneak in, through the wild card or whatever, and occasionally they'll make it to the ALCS, sometimes to the World Series. Usually the better team will win out, but occasionally you don't have to be that great to always win a World Series. So there's just no telling. Look at that. I hadn't looked at the top 100 prospects this year. So Elvis Rocha is the number one prospect in all of baseball. So Clyde Cronin, who was the number one prospect, has slid to two. Last I look at Rocha's numbers, he didn't have a great season in AAA though, so he's a ways away from taking over in the outfield for us. Now, Ruben Carruth, was he our first? Yeah, he was our first round pick in 2027. He's really good, even though his pitches don't look great. Look at that. His two seam fastball is 88 miles per hour. And then his curveball is his slowest pitch at 78. So only 10 miles per hour difference. I mean, it's bad enough that he doesn't even throw in the 90s, but the difference in miles per hour and his pitches are very, they're very similar in speed, which generally is not good for a pitcher. It allows hitters to just beat you out of the park, because too many of your pitches are close to the same speed, so they can make adjustments on the fly and do things with the ball. But for whatever reason, he's the third top prospect in all of baseball. We have the fourth and the sixth. And just so you guys know, Bo Kemp used to be Jimmy Cox. He was our second round pick in 2027. But for those that remember that draft, he really should have gone in the first round because our scouts had him ranked really high. Top 15, I think. Maybe top 10, but I can't remember. But I risked it. I mean, not that much of a risk, but I waited till uh, the second round to go ahead and draft him. I think he was our third pick, so we must have gotten a compensatory pick, and he's turned out to be the best of the bunch. It looks like so. But I did change the name to Bo Kemp because Bo Kemp is a friend and he played for the Minnesota Twins franchise, um, all in the minor leagues for close to 10 years. I won't give you all of his stats tonight, but if I remember right, I believe his final career ERA was 2.87, and he never got a chance to pitch in the majors. 2.87. Like, do you realize how hard that is? You have one or two bad years, your ERA is going to be like mid threes, maybe, even if you pitch great the rest of the time. And especially for a guy who never got a shot with the major league club. It's not just because he's a friend of mine, but I I don't get it, man. I don't understand. Minnesota management at that time must have not been doing a good job, especially at the minor league level, because I just don't get it. How do you not call up a guy with a career ERA below 3 and a WHIP that was really low? Um, I just don't get it. But we hope to have him on the show or one of these episodes soon. But he is a busy guy, so we'll see if that happens. But Jimmy Cox is now Bo Kemp. So that's good for the future, man. 4 guys in the top 10. That's amazing. All right. I think for the ALCS, for the most part, I may we may try to get the World Series done tonight and end this season if possible. So let's see how much time we have. But Joe Ryan will be going up against, is it Bowden Francis? Is that right? and we win that game 5-2. Let's see. Wow, 3-hitter. Orelvis Martinez and Nick Fortes had solo home runs. We knocked around Francis pretty good. Really good. He only lasted 3 innings. Gave up 5 earned runs. Their bullpen came in and shut it down, it looks like. Now let's check out our offense. Jake McCarthy, 1 for 3 with 2 ribbies. McClellan, 2 for 3. Buxton with the 0 for 5. Walker Jenkins, 2 for 4 with 2 ribbies. Arise, 2 for 4 with a ribby. Kalen Culpepper, 1 for 3. Emmanuel or Erod, 0 for. Keyshaw, 1 for 4. And Jeffers 0 for 2, but he walked twice. So there's Buxton again. But it is early, but he's hitting 117. He did that last year in the playoffs, but in the World Series, he hit a lot better. And then Erod is not doing well. But Jenkins hit a home run, as did Arise. Cy McClellan had a triple. Jeffers somehow had a stolen base. And look at Joe Ryan, 7 strong innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 2 earned runs. Griffin Jacks with the hold, and Johan Duran with the save. And it wouldn't be a Duran save without a walk or a hit. So good first win. So Joe Ryan was the back-to-back Cy Young Award winner, but Bailey Ober, his teammate, beat him out this year. So the Cy Young Award winner will go up against Barrios. Ooh. Wow. So we're down 3-1. We have the bases loaded. Let's just sim. That's Bubich for us, though. We've got to get rid of him. Well, we've got to let him go. We don't have enough cash to retain him. The Twins have defeated the Blue Jays 4-3. What in the world happened? We won that game. So they had quite a few guys that had a couple hits, namely Brandon Marsh, 3 for 4 with a ribby. Marsh had 2 steals, no home runs for them. Barrios only gave up 1 earned run, but he was dancing with the devil because he gave up 5 hits and 5 walks. That's a 2.00 whip, which is just horrendous. So just imagine that. Every inning, he had at least 2 guys on, but only gave up 1 earned run or 1 run in 5 innings. So in every inning, he had a minimum of 2 guys on base, but only gave up 1 run. That's what they call dancing with the devil right there. Their bullpen did well again, except for Alexis Diaz. So he's the one who came in probably to shut it down, and we got 3 runs off of him. Wow. So Jake McCarthy, 2 for 5. McClellan, 2 for 4. Buxton, 2 for 5. That's a good sign. Jenkins, 1 for 3 with 2 ribbies and 2 walks. Luis Arraez, 0 for 1 with a ribby, but 4 walks. That's amazing. 4 walks. Culpepper, 1 for 5 with a ribby. Erod, 1 for 4. Keishel, 1 for 4. And Jeffers, 0 for 4. No home runs by anyone on the Twins, but McCarthy and Buxton did have 2 doubles apiece. Cy McClelland had a stolen base. Keyshaw got caught stealing. Bailey Ober wasn't his sharpest today in 6 innings. He gave up 8 hits he did walk a guy, gave up 2 earned runs, and had 4 Ks. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but he wasn't his sharpest because that's a 1.5 whip. So Zach Jackson, it's always got to be somebody in our bullpen. Zach Jackson gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run in 1 inning. Bubich does what he does. He gave up in 1 inning 2 hits and 1 walk. I would suspect that he may have come in for Jackson and gave up one of Jackson's guys that he let on. But because I don't know how you have 2 hits against you, 1 earned or 1 walk, and not give up any earned runs. But anyway, and I kind of don't know why he was in the game, to be honest with you. So we are up 2-0 in the ALCS. Ricky Tiedemann, the young guy who keeps getting better, but is still at like an 80 overall. He's pitched very well in the playoffs. We do have to go to Toronto. So here we go, David Festa. And we win game 3. So McClellan, 1 for 4. Wow, McClellan's hitting .423. What a rookie season so far. Jake McCarthy, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 2 walks. Buxton, 2 for 4. And it's good to see Buxton kind of coming out of it. Jenkins, I think that's his first game without a hit, but I could be wrong. 0 for 4. Jeffers, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Arraez, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Keishel with a hit. Erod, hitless. And Culpepper, 1 for 2. So McCarthy, Jeffers, and Arraez had a home run. Culpepper had a stolen base. Jeffers got cocky, it looks like, after that stolen base in game 1 and got caught stealing once they found out that he has like 50 speed or whatever. So David Festa pitched a really good game. He only gave up 6 hits in 7 innings, no walks, 5 Ks, 2 earned runs. Cole Sands did well. There's Bubich again. I wish there was a button that you could push that would say Please do not let him pitch unless it's like the last resort. I don't know how his ERA is so low. That's crazy. But we win game 3. That is unbelievable. So we have Brant Herter, who had an amazing transformation from reliever to starter and was in the top 3 in the Cy Young voting and pitched okay his first game. Bryce Wilson pitched better though. So did I ever tell you guys that I hate quick manage? Why? I don't know. I just always feel like we lose when we do quick manage. And that's maybe not necessarily the case, but it feels like it. So we are live at Rogers Center. So Joe Ryan will definitely be ready next game. So that's good. So Brant Herter. What do you guys do whenever you get to your batting order and you have guys not like this, but that their energy is really depleted, and say you're in the ALCS? Do you really take out a Byron Buxton? Not now, but say if his energy was depleted quite a bit, or say Walker Jenkins. That's probably a better guy to choose. But I mean, do you really take him out for some backup guy just to give Jenkins a day off? I mean, when you're in the playoffs, it's kind of like you don't get a day off, do you? But does their energy replenish? I would suppose it does after each series, but I don't know. It's a good question. I'm glad I brought it up. All right. Let's advance. Jake McCarthy will start it off as we are the visiting team. Ground out. Double by McClelland. Buxton walks. Jenkins strikes out. And Arise grounds out. Brant Herter gives up a double. Ground out. A double by Mountcastle to score Jimenez. And a single to score Mountcastle. So the Blue Jays quickly up 2-0. Vierling walks. Martinez strikes out. Perdomo with a single. And finally, the Twins are out of that inning. So at the top of inning number 2, it is the Blue Jays 3, Twins 0. Ground out, fly out, fly out, line out, ground out. A walk by Jeffers. An error. I was just trying to bunt him over. Cy McClelland, who's hitting .444. He walks, so the bases are loaded for Byron Buxton, and he strikes out. The kid, Walker Jenkins, fielder's choice. Luis Ariz, the hit king, ground out. You have got to be kidding me. You couldn't have you couldn't have, you couldn't have wanted three other guys up at the plate other than those three guys. And they all three did nothing. That is terrible. Walk, double play, and ground out. Culpepper singles. Ooh.
Take your base, ball 4.
Let's bunt him over. Okay. Keyshaw, swing away, ground out. And Jeffers. Yes. Jeffers with a double that scores Culpepper to cut the deficit to 2. McCarthy up. He singles in Jeffers to make it a 3-2 Blue Jays advantage. McClellan to the plate. Oh, wait, McCarthy is going to steal second. Yes, he does. McClellan walks. Buxton. Here you go, man. And a fly out. I think that's going to ultimately hurt him in Twins lore.
Ball 4, take your base.
He'll always be a favorite, but he's had some opportunities in the postseason to come up big time, and he has not done well so far. Fly out, ground out, strikeout. Walker Jenkins, fly out. Luis Ariz walk. Ooh, a single by Culpepper.
3. Ball 4, take your base.
Do we pinch hit here for Erod? Ooh, I'm hitting Mercedes. 88 overall. First at bat of the postseason. Runners on first and second with one out. And a pitching change. And he strikes out. Keyshaw strikes out as well. Brant Herter, fly out, single, strikeout, stolen base, 2-run home run by Mountcastle. So 1 batter too late.
3. He's safe.
That's too bad. So Neil Van comes in. He gives up a single and strikes out the batter. So the 2 runs that we did get in the top of the 4th, the Blue Jays quickly got back in the bottom of the 5th to again make it a 3-run lead, 5-2. Jeffers walks. Pop out by McClellan, and a ground out by Buxton.
Take your base, ball 4.
Griffin Jackson or Zach Jackson into pitch. Strikeout. Fly out. Walker Jenkins up. Pitcher change.
Now pitching for the Twins.
Strikeout. Jenkins has been cold as ice.
Jackson.
The single by Arise. Culpepper
Now
walks.
pitching for the Blue Jays. Number 50, Adrian.
Mercedes. Ooh, pitching change. Let's pinch hit. Fan favorite, Brooks Lee.
Now pitching
Ooh,
for
and the
Blue
sack
Jays.
bunt.
Number 59, Jake.
So that's 2 outs. With Luke Keyshaw at the plate. Runners at second, third.
Twins. Number 2,
He walks.
Lee.
Jeffers has a chance. And he strikes out.
Ball 4, take your base.
So another run scores. So the Jays up 6-2. Only 6 more outs left for the Twins. Yet another pitching change. Ooh, McClellan singles in McCarthy.
Now pitching for the Blue Jays. Number 45.
McClellan steals second.
He's safe.
Buxton hits a 2-run home run. That's what I'm talking about. Leave a legacy, Byron.
He's safe.
Brings the Twins to within 1 with Walker Jenkins stepping to the plate. Pitching change. And Jenkins strikes out. Arise with a double. Culpepper.
Now pitching for the Blue Jays. Number 52, Nick Sandlin.
Swing away. Fly out. Okay. Brooks Lee. He walks. Keyshaw. Fly out. That's too bad.
Take your base. Ball 4.
So we'll go Griffin Jacks here. Strikeout, ground out, walk, stolen base, strikeout. So this is it, folks.
Now pitching for
Ryan Jeffers up.
Number 22, Griffin.
Alexis Diaz is in.
He's safe.
Fly out by Jeffers. McCarthy walks. He steals second.
Now pitching for the
McClellan singles and hits McCarthy in to tie the game at 6.
He's safe.
McClellan is stealing, folks. So there's 1 out. Cy McClellan with 96 speed is at second.
He's safe.
And Byron Buxton, who last at bat hit a home run, is coming up to bat. Here we go. Almost did it again. So Alexis Diaz, the closer, has a nasty slider that he gets Buxton on for strike 1. Leahy warming up for the Blue Jays.
Here comes 0-1. Swing and a miss at a slider.
That one is way out of the zone.
Up and loosening in the pen.
Alexis Diaz had a terrible regular season this year, but has pitched better in
Well, if
the
he's going to do something
playoffs.
special right here,
Oh,
it's going to have to
Buxton
happen with
hits
two
that
strikes.
off the first baseman's glove, and Buxton is
Next
fast
offering
enough
it downstairs.
to get a
With him
base
going,
hit
run standing at second here in game 4
and
of
move the
the
speedy
ALCS.
McClellan to third
It's
base
in and out of his
with
glove. He's
1
at third
out.
now. So runners at the corners and 1 out.
Well, that at bat had a lot of pressure riding on it, so really
That's
great job
Byron
coming through
Buxton
right there.
speed
It's
right
got to feel
there.
good. Fielder got a piece of it,
That's
but
one
to
of the
win that big
reasons we
game
love
with
him.
bat, no surprise at all. He couldn't pick it cleanly. It's a very difficult play, and that swing definitely was deserving of a hit. Now a huge at bat in this game coming up.
Manager out of the dugout, and he's going to make a change. Alexis Diaz won't go any further, and it's a tie ball game as
So
he heads
Kyle
for the dugout.
Leahy in the
Back with a new
game.
arm after a quick break. A new arm into the game, the righty, Kyle Leahy.
They know that he can get
So Walker
right-hand route,
Jenkins,
but he's in position
0
to
for
execute
5 on the
lefties this
day, has a chance to go from 0 to hero.
2 on, 1 out. Walker Jenkins,
He has
the next twin up
3
to hit.
strikeouts as well.
Strike on the outside, and it's 0-1.
All the Twins need is a sac fly here. It will not win the game, but it'll put the Twins ahead.
Swinging a foul.
Good eye on an 0-2 count
I think
there.
ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield.
Great eye. So the count goes even at 2-2.
And just
Oh,
misses
Jenkins
with that one.
just hangs on.
Because he never had time to. With that kind of velocity, you'd prefer that pitcher
He
work
could
around.
change his whole day. What an eye.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2.
So the 3-2 pitch.
Next offering misses down and away.
And that is a base hit, folks.
Luis Arias in the on-deck
The
circle,
Twins
hoping to
will
get a
go
chance to
up
make
on
a
the
big
Blue
impact.
Jays. And that puts runners at first and third. So Walker Jenkins takes that 0-5
Base hit center
and
field.
says,
One
shove it.
runs in. Throw comes in and holds the runner at third. They're at the corners now.
We're the
with
Twins,
still only
baby.
1 away.
Well, there you
We're
go.
never
The
out of
RBI
this.
machine. Another clutch run scoring at
So
bat.
the hit
Yeah,
king,
he's been
Luis
so good in
Arias,
these situations.
up to
Call
the
it
plate.
clutch if you want, but his resume speaks for itself.
There is
Runners at the
still 1
corners
out.
here, 1
So
away.
still a
Luis
possibility
Arias
for a sac
stands in.
fly, even
Known
though
for his late
Arias
inning
is not your
heroics.
typical sac fly kind of guy.
Just missed.
Could use a ground ball here.
I was not trying to rhyme right there.
Runner at first base. Get two.
Oh,
Get out
he
of
hit
this.
that hard, but foul.
Crowd locked in right now.
The count even at
1-run game
1-1.
here in the ninth.
Arise.
Pulls that one
3
foul.
for 5 now on the day.
Like you got a little excited on
Minnesota
that.
scores
You gotta think to
another
yourself,
run,
you wanna
and
stay on the
Arise
field. That way, if
will
you're a little
walk
bit
into
early, hit
second
out of the ballpark,
with a
you'll run
double,
opposite field knock.
a 2-run double.
Line drive,
So
and
both
that's the
runs
extra
score.
bases. 1 run is in. Jenkins.
And let me
Home.
just tell you, that's
He'll
Walker
score
Jenkins,
2
the
runs early.
5-tool player
Picks himself up a couple of
with
ribbies.
the
Nice line
speed
drive
that
to the pull side
runs
right
from
there, but he didn't
first
spin
to
off of
home.
it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the
Great
baseball in order to
job
hit
by
a line drive like
Arise
that.
to make this a 3-run game.
Kalen Culpepper, the next
Kalen
twin up to
Culpepper
hit.
with 2 hits on the day.
That one's upstairs, ball 1.
So he is not scared for being a kid, that's for sure.
1 out and a runner at second late here in Game 4.
What a hit by Arise. That was clutch, folks. And Culpepper goes down on strikes.
In there for a strike. 1 and 2.
I love that scoreboard. Now Brooks Lee.
And that's
1,000 OPS, but 0 batting
You got to
average.
be ready to swing the bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 strikes. Just put the ball in place somewhere, and you got a chance.
Here's your chance, Brooks Lee.
I'm sure. See if the next guy can pick him up.
There's a nation that are cheering for you.
Time here, watches that one miss.
And I thought he had a hit on that.
That one finds
But he didn't hit it very hard, so it didn't go very far, unfortunately. But nice try, Brooks.
Line drive, makes the play, and it's out number 3. So an incredible rally.
So the Twins bring in their closer, Duran, of course, who is 3 for 3 this postseason in save opportunities.
Welcome back, and here comes the closer,
Ryan Mountcastle
I think closer has to be one of the
was
toughest
1
jobs
for
in
11
baseball,
entering
and
this
we see a pretty
game,
high turnover rate because of it. Every outing
and
seems to
is
be high
3 for
pressure,
3
this
on the
one
day.
included. We'll see if he can wrap up the win and get himself a save.
3, 4, 5 doing
Oh
the home
my
Now
goodness.
first baseman Ryan Mountcastle. That's outside.
So Duran,
Ball 1.
That was
as he
absolute
does
jackson
at
position on the
times,
gun. It's just a different experience as a
implodes
hitter
just a
watching him
little
throw it.
bit
Here's a swing and a drive
with the
left
solo
field.
shot
He
from
knew it.
Mountcastle. But he still can get the save here. He just has to bear down and get 3 outs.
Ball is jumping off his bat.
Yes, it is. Tons of loud contact. Man, it's been impressive.
Newt Barr at the plate.
Well, I'm sure there's a big grin on his face right now.
Man, that
He's
looks
probably
like
had some of
that
those
is
that didn't
just
stay
piped.
fair, but off the bat, it looked
But
like it
at
was.
100 miles per
Wow,
hour,
he was able to
that
keep
is
it in there,
probably
tucked it
very
nicely,
difficult to
and nice
hit.
jog around the bases. Good for him.
Now at the plate, Lars
And
Nootbaar.
Keyshaw, the Gold Glover almost, with a nice play to throw Newt Barr out for out number 1.
The throw to first, 1 out, bottom of the 9th.
So Veerling
Pitches and a quick out.
is really on fire this postseason with a 341 average.
Outs away.
Duran does what he should do, and that's get ahead of Veerling,
a former All-Star, 30 years old
and
now,
he gets ahead
and he was
quickly
born in the
at
Dominican
0
Republic.
and
That
2.
one in triple digits.
Well, so many hard-throwing relievers in the game these days. You would think that hitters have made the adjustment, but I don't know.
Question for you guys. You guys like the matte helmets or the shiny helmets? Depending on the day, I like either one of them. And that is out number 2, as it is hit lightly to second base. And Keyshaw snags it for the second out.
That one the other way. He's got it, and there's 2 away.
And it puts the Twins 1 out away from going to their second consecutive World Series.
But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
So Duran has done everything right since giving up that home run.
Stands in now and watches strike 1.
So he's 1 strike away.
Here in the bottom of the 9th.
And he does it.
More and more guys are
The timely hitting of Walker Jenkins and Luis Ariz,
The Jays down to their final strike.
and our closer coming in to shut it down.
They are champions.
And there are your 2028 American League champs.
Congratulations to the American League champions. These players have worked hard all season long, and their hard work has paid off.
A lot of love on that
World
field.
Series, this team can't wait to get it
But
started.
in my experience, when you're winning, there's a lot more love than when you're losing.
For my partner, Chris Singleton, and our entire outstanding crew, thank you for watching the American League Championship Series on MLB The Show.
What a game, guys. That one was a tough one to win. Thanks to Alexis Diaz and the poor guy's kind of extension of his regular season. Just disastrous regular season. Gives up 3 earned runs in only 1/3 of an inning. Cy McClelland is your player of the game. Let's check out the box score. McCarthy 2 for 4 with a ribby. McClelland 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Buxton 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Walker Jenkins with a huge 1 for 6 with an RBI. Arise with a humongous 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. The kid, Culpepper, 2 for 5. Erod continues to struggle. Keyshaw went 0 for 4. And Jeffers 1 for 3 with 2 walks. I'm impressed with Jeffers' ability to walk. So Byron Buxton with his first home run of the postseason. McCarthy with 3 steals to give him 6 in the postseason. McClellan had 2 to give him 4. So this team doesn't just hurt you with the bat, but can hurt you on the bags as well. So Herder, uncharacteristically for our pitching staff, pitches a really bad game for us. Gives up 5 earned runs in 4.2 innings. Neil Vann didn't do a whole lot better, nor did Zach Jackson. But Griffin Jacks came in and held it down. And other than the solo home run by Ryan Mountcastle, Duran nails down save number 4. And the Twins move on to their second World Series in a row. They will be taking on the Reds or the Dodgers in the World Series. And I have a feeling that it's going to be the Dodgers, which, if you want to be the best, you have to play the best. Oh, it is Cincinnati. Wow. Color me surprised. I don't think we're going to have time for the World Series tonight. I don't know if you guys know this, but most of the time when I film these is when my wife and my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old son are asleep. And even though I'm laying there about to fall asleep, I get my butt out of bed and I come up and I record for you guys, but also for me. But I I do it. I do it for the guys that are counting on these episodes coming out. But that doesn't mean that my wife is going to wake me up any later in the morning, unfortunately. So just FYI for those of you that aren't married. So just because I come up here at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, that morning still comes early. So, but what we will do before we go is I would love to check out the Reds roster. But before I do, like I always say, I'm sure there's never been a corrupted file in the history of MLB The Show or Madden or any other game, but I don't want to be the first. To be honest with you, I've had enough corrupted files in my life to make me kind of mad when I think about it. But they used to be a lot worse and they have gotten a lot better. So, wow. So the last time I saw it, LA was up 1-0 on Cincinnati, and Cincinnati won in 7 apparently. So they've got to be pretty good. Let's look at their record real quick. So the Dodgers had 97 wins. Oh, and the Reds had 98. So, and they clinched the best record in the league. So in reality, the Reds are the best of the best. They had a better record than the Dodgers. So here are your Cincinnati Reds. A man by the name of Ellie De La Cruz. I've never heard of him. I'm just kidding, of course. But let's see. So he had 11 triples, which is ridiculous. 27 bombs, 80 RBIs. He did strike out 177 times. That is absolutely awful. 27 steals, 9 caught stealing, hit 252, 340 on base percentage, 472 slugging, and a 5.4 WAR. Last year he had an 8.4 WAR. But 5.4 is very good. And he's hitting well in the playoffs. So Logan Gilbert is who we will face first. Okay. You guys remind me. I cannot forget to change our rotation. So Logan Gilbert is their ace, and he has been pitching lights out in the playoffs. Look at that. 0.29 ERA, 0.58 whip. He was only 12-11 this year. 3.28 ERA, 1.12 whip. I mean, the guy is really good. Hunter Green, their number 2, has not been pitching well in the playoffs. Was only 13-10. Who won their games for him? He had a 3.17 ERA and a 1.31 whip. So, they do have Jack Flaherty, who has been getting lit up in the playoffs. Okay, so he has some of their wins, 16-8, 2.72 ERA this year, 1.19 whip. And he has a history of having low whips, so he's not going to walk many or give up many hits. And that's their third starter. Matt McClain's doing okay in the playoffs. 22 homers, 92 RBIs, 13 steals, but 9 caught stealings, and 280 average. Edwin Diaz, is he their closer? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And you talk about, oh no, he's their setup man. 45 holds. He was 1-6, but he had 45 holds, 91 Ks and 82 innings, a 2.72 ERA, and a 1.23 whip. So one thing we don't want to do is get to the 8th or 9th inning behind. Let's just say that. So Ryan Walker must be their closer. And he is. He had 53 saves, 7 blown. He only gave up 48 hits in 73 innings. That is pretty phenomenal. 1.97 ERA and an 0.89 whip. Look at that. 3 out of his last 5 years, he's had below 1 whip. So, yeah, we're basically saying let's never be behind after the 7th inning against Cincinnati, because they have 2 guys that will put you on lockdown. That's right. They signed Paredes. I forgot about that. Even though he's not doing great in the postseason, I think he had big numbers. Yeah, he did. 39 homers, 114 RBIs, and hit 252, 492 slugging. Any dude that hits 40 home runs is the dude you have to account for. 85 or not. That was a good pickup. What did they give him? Only 15 million. That's not bad. So Rhett Lauder, is that their 5th starter? 4th or 5th? Okay, so think maybe that's the 4 starter, but he had some of their wins too. It was 17-4 to be exact. Wow. 3.35 ERA and a 1.29 whip. So pretty darn good for your 4th or 5th starter. Victor Robles. "13 homers, 43 RBIs. He did have close to 200 strikeouts and didn't even play a full season. The guy likes to strike out a lot, but he did have 51 steals, only 6 caught stealings. 51 steals. That is crazy. 261 average. How are all these dudes doing it? And they're not in the 90s or high 80s. They're like 85, 83. They secretly have kind of a sick team. I can see why they had the best record in the National League. So this reliever for them had a 2.51 ERA and a 1.00 whip. And look at his whip for the last 5 years. The dude just simply does not walk people or give up hits. He had 32 holds. So let me rephrase that. Let's not be behind after the 6th inning. After the 6th inning. Okay. Okay, this was their 5th starter, Andrew Abbott. Does anyone remember Jim Abbott? I barely remember him, but he was a phenomenal story about it. I believe at birth he was born without his right hand. And you talk about a great pitcher for a short amount of time with the Angels. He was really good, if I remember right. And the dude had one hand. One hand. And I mean, just amazing. Probably the hard work that he put in to becoming great was just that much harder, you know? That's why you guys know that you can do anything you set your mind to, man. This world will bring setbacks to you, maybe at birth. My wife and I lost our first child, my first son, man, who I named after my hero, my dad. He died at birth, man. And maybe he doesn't have a chance, but if you're sitting here listening to this or watching this and you can overcome, you can do great things in this world, that's for sure. No matter who you are or what setback you've been given. 16-9, 4.35 ERA, 1.36 whip, but I suspect we won't even see Andrew Abbott. Francisco Alvarez, their catcher. Wow. So they have a catcher that has 20 home run ability, or 20 homer ability, 63 RBIs. He even steals some bags. Hit 231, but is a great defensive catcher. Man, I love great defensive catchers, not just in MLB The Show, but in real life. I think it makes a world of difference. It did for me, not only throughout high school, the great success I had through high school, but the phenomenal success I was blessed enough to have in college. Man, when you have a good catcher, and I don't just mean throwing out guys trying to steal or blocking the ball or whatever, but I mean like knowing what you want to pitch on what count, um, knowing what to say to you when he goes out to the mound, you know what you need to hear. And I had a couple great catchers in college that helped me to be a lot better than I probably really was. But so they not only have a good defensive catcher, but a catcher that can hit. I don't know if I want to see the rest of these guys because they're all going to have like 20 home runs, hit like 250, steal 10 bags. So basically, they're pretty darn good, is what we're saying. They secretly are really good. What's scary is that 3 of their 4 best players are starting pitchers. That's scary because good pitching, well, let's say great pitching can shut down great hitting usually. And they have some really good pitching and pitching in the bullpen as well with Diaz and Walker. So we have our work cut out for us, guys. I hope you join me next time. If you are not a subscriber, we're a brand new channel, so I would implore you. I don't use that word very much, but I would implore you to hit that subscribe button and hit that noti bell. Smash that like button if you would, and you're always welcome to leave a comment. I don't get tons of comments, I'm not Mr. Hurricane or Bingle or whoever, but man, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys, whatever you're thinking or feeling, I always respond to every comment, and every comment means the world to me. So don't ever think that your opinion or your thought doesn't matter. No, it does to me. So, um, but tell your friends about this channel, and the Twins are going back to the World Series, and we'll see you next time, guys. Take care.